Hello. Well, it's just me. Adam has told me today, hey, man, I'm going to see Spider Man right before we go. Okay, I'm getting a text from him right now. Yeah, just get out of the movie. So he said I'm going to see it right before the movie ends, and then I'll be right in there to talk about it. Yeah, he's late. But the good news is, when he gets here, we're going to talk all about Spider Man No Way Home. So you're looking at crazy, crazy spoiler time. He'll be there in 15 minutes. So long. Yeah, it was long. Adam, they said it was going to be long. Anyway, yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home is opening this week, and we won't spoil whether this multiverse adventure features an appearance by Nicholas Hammond, although we did just spoil how old I am. Also, if that's not enough to make critics complain about comic book movie saturation from the audience of Spider-Man next to an empty theater showing Belfast, The Kingsman and The Matrix also get sequels. And I didn't have time to write a sketch, but Nicolas Cage has been cast as Dracula, so it certainly feels like we did, right? And welcome to Movie Nonsense, happening every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. here out on the West Coast. And this show is basically, if you know the movie guys at all, from our website that we've had since 2009 and all the podcasts we've done, 300 plus episodes of the old movie showcast, or the TMG interview, which is still ongoing, and of course the Ford Fiesta, which is happening now and going until we've seen every single movie that Harrison Ford has ever made. What do you mean we? You're there by yourself. Well, my co-host is Adam Witt. My name is Paul Preston, and he'll be here soon. Again, just coming out of a screening of Spider-Man Home Alone or whatever. So expect spoilers. This is going to happen because Adam's going to be fired up. I know he's, Mr. Marvel. So am I these days. I mean, good Lord. If you're not Mr. Marvel, you're not paying attention. There's because it's not just amazing, broad, epic action and fantasy, and it's damn fine storytelling, and it is something worth talking about when he gets here. So I'm glad he saw it. If you want spoilers, if you want to avoid them, I should say, this ain't the place to be. So we're going to get into it. So be sure to, follow us at themovieguys.net. And of course, you can follow us also on, let's see, if you don't know who the movie guys are, search us on Google. Or you can search us on Yahoo. Or you can go back in time and search us on Bang! Yeah, Bang's not a thing anymore. So let's see. What do we have here? Let me go to the thoughts here from the gang. Looking forward to Belfast 2, Belfastier, super Belfasty. Someone appreciating our Nicholas Hammond reference. Well, I love it when people are older than us. That's good. Yeah, that's in there. You've been called out. So yeah. Oh, poor Garth. You haven't seen the movie, but you think you've seen all the spoilers. Well, listen, a lot going on in Spider-Man, and we will chat about it. But I had a rant I was going to do today, and if Adam's not here yet, I'm going to do my rant. You see this? Boop, boop, La La Land. I don't know what you guys think of La La Land. For me, it's one of my favorite films of the last 10 years. And I went on a plane again, and every time there's turbulence on a plane, I get a little woogie. It's not my thing. I would rather not fly, but I did have to fly to Hawaii. And that's where I was last week when I called into the show. So as soon as there's turbulence, I just look for something to watch that's a good movie. And the last two times, in July and now when I've flown, it's been La La Land. La La Land is one of my favorites. I only like it because I love art, music, love, dreams, risk, and movies. That's all. So I wanted to do a little rant on how fantastic this movie is. Am I speaking to the choir? Chat, guys, am I on point with this La La Land? Because I think it's a masterpiece. first of all, there aren't a lot of works out there nowadays that are the true signature work of a director. And that's why I want to see Licorice Pizza. I haven't yet. I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson makes specifically Paul Thomas Anderson movies. There's not a project, and we stuck a guy on it. Uh, Lucas, Nolan, Spielberg. I mean, these guys had directorial signatures. But Jurassic World, Divergent movies, etc., things like that. You stick whoever on there. David McKay, you're my favorite. Because here's the deal: I find it very difficult to have a conversation about La La Land that isn't just me defending it, and I will. Oh, I will a lot. So there's. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. There you go. And didn't it break your heart when Moonlight won? I don't know. I just thought, the 6 Oscars on the night, give him the best picture. How does that not happen? Well, there's a whole story about that. Anyway, take a couple Pirates of the Caribbean movies. You can't tell who directed one from the other. And anyway, this guy Damien Chazelle, all his movies do is all they do is win Oscars. Every movie he's made. Whiplash won a pair. And La La Land, like I said, won 6. First Man won for visual effects. He's got a new movie coming out. I believe it's called Babylon. I think it's got Brad Pitt. I can't point with Brad Pitt. There he is. That's him right there. Backwards cam. So that's going to be exciting to see that. Wait a second. This is I haven't seen La La Land because I'm old and slow, but if you say it's a masterpiece, then it must be because Paul is God. Well, he will be when he sends me $20. Well, you can count on $20 coming your way. Just check the mail. So Damien Chazelle's fingerprint is all over this movie, La La Land, and the choices he made were wildly cinematic, crazy bold. The visualization of what the film could be from beginning to end is clearly his, and so you either buy into it or you don't. I bought into it. And I'm going to go through some of the criticisms people give to that film and knock them on their ass because I think it's brilliant. First of all, technically, it's an amazing achievement, and that's where it won a lot of its Oscars for production design and cinematography. I mean, the movie starts with a joyous celebration on a freeway during a traffic jam. They found joy in a traffic jam. And that's when the movie, I said, all right, I'm down with this kind of movie that's going to be doing that. It's about people who put it all on the line. I've got some notes here. They put it all on the line. They're trying. They don't settle. I mean, these are my kind of people. I don't know who you're hanging out with in your day-to-day, but LA is full of a merry band of misfits. They hope, they dream, and every other day, the next day is another day of sun, as the song says. So I'm always fascinated by that. I mean, that's why, this movie was right in line with a bunch of other ones that say that, all LA does is reward movies about themselves. Well, we're pretty damn interesting people. I hate to say it. I mean, I suppose you could, make a video of a guy who's just slogging around the countryside with nothing to do. But people who are risking it all and dreaming big and creative are interesting people. So that's why their movies are fantastic. And you can also tell early in the film that this is a dream movie. It's kind of just a dream version of LA, kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was. I mean, that's my wall. Half it's pretty much dream movies of Los Angeles. So when you set up a film that's got singing in it, first of all, you're not reality. You're not trying to be reality in any way. So then they just did a lot with that. And I think every time the story went huge or went for broke, they said, hey, we can lean into this because we're not really showing you Los Angeles. We're showing you idealized Los Angeles through the scope of these two dreamers. They fell, and Seb and Mia are two main characters. You have Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone fell in love during a movie. So they love movies. Why are you watching this if you don't love movies? And that's what Adam and I are always saying about people who critique movies all the time. Do you even like movies? Do you even like movies? IO9, do you even like movies? Half the videos out there now are the 10 things that are wrong with but what is this? Have you thought about having Scott Mantz on Movie Nonsense? You can do a La La Land La Love in. Oh, listen, I want to get a word in, so no. So anyway, um, there's also a point in the film when they have the big dance number at Griffith Observatory. After that, they kiss. The camera kind of winds down to black through a circle, whatever you call it, like a circle wipe. And after that, it's a totally different movie. That moment is like a change in the film from full blown musical to there's only two musical numbers after that. They reprise City of Stars, and it's sang in real time. And they reprise or they don't reprise it, but they bring you the audition number. Other than that, the music, like the Messengers Start a Fire, the band that John Legend's character Keith has, is, you know, uh, in the realm of the world. It's not like they break and suddenly start singing to the heavens. Anyway, artists are continually fighting against stupid. So there's a particularly effective scene where you have Sebastian playing the piano and the photographer shooting him, and he's saying things like, "Yeah, play the piano, man, play the piano, bite your lip, man, bite your lip, put your hat up and do all this." And I love that scene because that's the kind of crap we put up with all the time as artists. It's a microcosm of the condescension towards artists of people who risk nothing. So anyway, I rooted harder for Seb right there. I rooted for Mia after their audition. I suddenly was in love with these two people. And if you say that Mia or Emma Stone's character has a thin singing voice, you're not paying attention, because she does have a sort of wispy voice throughout the film until the audition, when she unloads full voice this song, "The Fools Who Dream." And for me, that's a choice. I think that's a choice when suddenly she lays it all on the line. She has to risk everything, especially during a song about her aunt, who the biggest thing she ever did in her life, it seems, was go in the water when she was in Paris, dip her toes in the Seine River, catch a cold, and then be struggling with a cold for the rest of her vacation. But she said she'd do it again. To risk is everything. Mia laid it all out on the line during her final desperate plea of a song, and I thought it was magnificent. So, and it shouldn't be played down as what an extraordinary win Mia's career is. A lot of people said it could never happen. While watching it up against, watching the Up Against Everything actor pull a huge win is a beautiful thing, and it's worth celebrating. So, anyway, hey, there you go. You were going to go to last year's free for all and planning the weekend around La La Land shooting locations. Give me a call. I will take you to all of them. I've been to the Lighthouse Cafe. I've been to the pier down at Manhattan Beach for City of Stars. And, what I mean, the Smokehouse right here in Burbank is Lipton's. The Van Beek is also in Burbank. The Samba and Tapas place do one right. And the drive-in across the street that he pulls his convertible into, Seb, to watch the Van Beek people go in and out while he talks about how he would like to own that club one day. That place is right there. So all those places are there. And I'm starting a LA film locations tour in 2022. Hey, there's the big announcement of the show. So anyone who wants to take that, look for a link on the Movie Guys very soon. Right now it says coming soon. If you go to themovieguys.net and click on the film locations link. But La La Land will be a huge part of it because they went all over the place. I mean, I went recently also to, the montage when Seb and Mia just walk all over town and sort of have their romance at the jazz music. They go to Ferndale, I think it's called, which is in Griffith Park, a beautiful little wooded area. And I've been to the restaurant downtown at the Grand Central Market, where they sit in the corner of a counter and talk to one another. Here are the criticisms I've heard about La La Land as well. Then Adam will be here and we'll talk about Spider-Man. But Ryan Gosling is white-splaining or mansplaining jazz. I don't know. If white people can't play and enjoy jazz, someone should have told Chet Baker or Dave Brubeck or Stan Getz. Jazz is dying, as Seb says in the film. And I think people who complained about that don't listen to jazz. I doubt any of them could tell me about the latest Henry Threadgill album or post any links to old blocks and irregular verbs. So this is just something they read somewhere and decided to cut and paste because they hate the movie or they needed to be angry about something that day. That's what Twitter does. You wake up and say, what shall I be angry about today? And then Twitter gives you a ton of things to be angry about. You jump on one of them, and then you go about hating your life in the day, which is what you do. Okay, Randy's going to watch this based on my suggestion. Oh, good. Now, how much should I say? Oh my God, I don't want to give a whole lot of stuff away. But I will tell you this. Going through the other things that people say about the movies, that it's a ripoff of other movies. Well, you're talking about pretty much every movie from 1980 to the present. So, and here's a movie that loves movies, so of course it's going to reflect other movies. I mean, yeah, they directly watch Rebel Without a Cause and the scene at the Griffith Observatory, and then they go there. That's pretty much a direct storytelling line. Um, I've read somewhere that someone has said that the scene where Mia is singing on the bed while she's singing about what's the big song she sings there with the other girls? Someone in the crowd. They said it's a ripoff of Grease when she was singing on a bed. Really? Someone singing on a bed in two movies is one is ripping off the other. Stay off the internet, except for this show. Watch this show. Adam's here. Let me finish this rant on La La Land. This is what happens when you're not here, Adam. There's a rant on La La Land happening because I saw it on a plane. And you know what? The plane didn't go down. So make that another reason to watch it. Well, there you go. Stan Getz and Chet Baker were geniuses. Adam has no idea what happened while he was gone. So all I will say otherwise is that
I leave you alone for 10 minutes.
20 minutes. You can bring yourself into the damn show. Well, listen, the any movie where the main character says, "You say romantic like it's a dirty word," I'm on board. This is a well-crafted triumph of directorial mastery from a guy who just has his own thing. Every movie he makes, and he's not tied down by genre, so we can enjoy that about Damien Chazelle as well. And the film has an imagination that champions hope, possibility, and an underpraised sense of humor. That movie's very funny, whereas something like Moulin Rouge tries to be funny, and for me, it doesn't work. This movie's very funny, especially the guy at the they say I have a knack for world building. Yeah, you got all that heat on me right now. People talking about me. Yeah, it's just amazing, to risk and then see your dreams come true. Okay, and then he gets cut off. That guy at the party is my favorite. Anyway, La La Land. I think it's one of the great films of the last 10 years. Saw it on the plane this week, Adam. Come on, join us.
I heard
it. So, yeah. But I wanted to talk about that till you got here. I had a little rant ready to go because just sitting there crying. I just love that movie so much. And I won't go any further, Randy, because Randy's going to, although it looks like he tuned out for a second, but he's going to watch it this week. So I'll give you no more spoilers on what to expect.
Yes, you do love that movie. I'm trying to turn on my light here. I love that you love that movie because that's such a recent movie, and you treat that movie the way we treated Fletch back in the day.
Yeah.
Just you're like, I'm watching. I'm going to watch this over and over, and this is my thing. And you know what? I think I'm going to put that on today. I don't know what I want to put on. Back in the day, you'd be like, I'm just going to throw on Fletch. But you're like, you Fletched La La Land. I love that too. You're like, I'm just putting on La La Land. It's such a recent movie to watch over and over and over. I love that sort of thing.
Yeah, I had to convince myself how quickly a new film could become one of my all-time favorites. Mm-hmm. I know it's not hard for you. Every time we see a Marvel movie, you go, that's one of my all-time favorite movies. But, and you're often right. But for me, it's like, the favorite movies ever, Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and so I really recently started to go into lean into No Country for Old Men as being one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, you're talking about a lot of movies to compare it to, and it's so new, now, especially that movie's now 16 years old. So it's like, or
it's true,
14 years old. So yeah, now it's like, okay, but I think this one, even though it's only 5 years old, is one of my all-time favorite movies. It just, I sit there watching and go, this movie loves movies. I love movies.
It does. There it is. Yeah. So you watch that on a flight, you said?
Yeah. Anytime there's turbulence, I go to a movie because I just need to be distracted. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
And both July and here, that was playing. So I watched it then. I watched it now, the 2 times I've flown this year. So
that's great. That's awesome.
And then by the end, I'm just crying my eyes out because I think, it's a movie about people you love change you, whether you are with them forever or not. And you can't discount the importance of that. And that plays out, and the characters don't, look away from that. They lean into that, and it's fascinating, I think.
You could answer for me. There's something so hypnotic about the first like 20 or 30 minutes of that movie. This, whatever it's weaving and drawing you in, like, I mean, there's that huge dance sequence, but it was also about like crowded LA traffic. And I was like, well, that's weird. Because that's something I now relate to that is boring, that I'm seeing dramatized on screen to be like the sort of like classic Hollywood musical, even though it's like, no, that's the banal part of Hollywood is in that traffic. And the banal part of Hollywood is working at the Starbucks, and yet it's doing the classic Hollywood glamour picture about Hollywood with these banal subjects. Something about that really like roped me in the first time I watched that. I don't know if you felt the same way.
I led with that. I said they found joy in a traffic jam.
Right.
That's what I think is fantastic about that.
And that's it thrown down its gauntlet for like, here's the style of the movie. Here we go.
And
boom.
And then you take for granted the technical things I see now that I've watched it 9 times. That camera gliding through and around the cars and up over the partitions down the middle of the road, and then finding our first singer and then following her, for a while, and then just getting hundreds of dancers deep on this freeway, all dancing. And when they finish the number, it's a wide shot of all of them. Camera just comes down to Ryan Gosling in his car, and we start the narration like it's seamless with all these things working in sync. And again, young punk Damien Chazelle, what is he, like 32 or something? Getting this done. And Chazelle is Chazelle. Do I have that right, poster? Oh, this is a creditless poster. But I've been challenged here by Garth how to spell Damien's name, but and I'm sure you didn't mean the first name, because you spoiled that if you did mean that. Anyway, that's
question, writer. Do not hire
that was
him.
the filler rant while we were waiting for you to get back. But I had it on my list of things to talk about for what did you see this week. So.
Well, what's fun is I am late to the broadcast here, and I haven't downloaded the program that makes me turn on the light on this camera as I have in my home computer. Did not set everything up properly that way. But I have just come from my screening of Batman Far From Home. Or No Way Home. No Way
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
No
Spider-Man 3,
Home
2.
Sweet Home Alone.
So the reviews just do not come much fresher than this, my friend. If you need your reviews fresh,
we do.
I am bringing the fresh reviews.
This is a to and from live.
Yeah, live, right?
It's a from.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a from.
It's a from.
Well, listen, I told everybody there would be spoilers, so anyone who was worried about that, I think, has had a chance to
okay, because I think we could ease into the spoilers, is what I was going to say.
Sure.
There's some things I think I just don't even want to say for the person that might have this on or might watch this, and I don't know. There's a lot I don't want to say and keep unspoiled.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you can say hell of a movie, right?
Hell of a movie, right? Let's just say, obviously people know that people from other Spider-Man movies are appearing in this movie. That's no spoiler. If you've seen one trailer, you know that, right? But I was shocked at how much we got.
Yeah, and how good that is for the story, giving them space to breathe and letting our characters be, not just a punchline or a cameo or they're part of the plot.
Yeah.
And as such can stick around and have character development and interaction with the other characters. And that's all good. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. I saw it more as, much like Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's merely a cameo, but as I was having a conversation after Ghostbusters Afterlife, I was saying that's what you used to get. Like the idea that you would have, Tony Stark for most of Civil War, which is not an Iron Man movie, more than a glorified cameo, or obviously they do it all the time in Marvel movies, but I'm like, that's new, or like CGI Tarkin or something, the special guest star, like that's rare that someone's in it. Or no, actually he's more of a glorified cameo sort of thing, or Darth Vader. But yeah, they're so substantial in this movie, the cameos.
Yeah, let me do this.
And it's just like pressing the joy button. Like there's the thing that we think we want out of one of these things. Like, wouldn't it be cool if I feel like the movies we see now are 100% wouldn't it be cool ifs brought to life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, would it be cool if this happened? And then there it is. And it's like, this is one of those of like, well, okay, now that they've established this other Spider-Man, and now that Sony is working with Marvel, wouldn't it be cool if, and this movie is almost 100% that, isn't it?
But hang on a sec here. He's saying that's his cue to beat it. So tell you what, I've got this. Roach Smythe, come back. I'll put that on when you can come back. If you want to just mute us, not leave entirely, just mute us for a sec,
Okay.
and I'll tell you when you can come back. So it's safe if you really don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I've given him that second. Go ahead. Well, I know it's the most brilliant coming together of what to do with these properties that are just out there. I mean, we've had that in Batman that you mentioned, for years, and it just seems like a clunky narrative to go from 89 to this Matt Reeves movie that's coming up. It's like, well, we've gone up and we've had the different Batman and we did that. But Spider-Man, it's like, it's all important. Leave no movie behind. That's been my take on Marvel's MO for a long time now. They don't leave the Incredible Hulk behind. They don't leave Thor: The Dark World behind. And even though they're not something they created, they'll be damned if they're going to leave these other Spider-Man movies behind. And it's been a brilliant choice.
But what's interesting is you've said that for a long time, because you said that when Thunderbolt Ross shows up from the much maligned Incredible Hulk movie, and you're like, and then Thunderbolt Ross shows up in Civil War, like, no big deal. I'm once again that beloved character from that beloved movie, The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, and Infinity War, and they keep him around. He represents the government, and an important faction it is to the storyline, and yeah.
But the job of leaving no movie behind is getting more complex with owning 20th Century Fox. Like, how do you deal with that versus how do you deal with the other Spider-Men? It's just so fun that they brought the other Spider-Men back, but like a bunch of them, like it's the whole movie is that like, and they even take a good amount of time to roll that in. They give you a lot of movie before they pull their stunt, let's say.
And the waters were tested here already with WandaVision.
Yeah.
The bringing in of Quicksilver, I thought was brilliant because he's not really, and like Venom isn't really, but is, and just we get the enjoyment of it without it being a real thing. So,
well, and superhero movies used to have to hold your hand so much, and that's how you got such odd choices. And older superhero movies is that this movie was allowed to be just a full-on comic book movie, and that door was opened up by Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse also, which could do that because it's a cartoon, so it can go nuts and present all these other Spider-Man stuff. And now it's naturally you think to yourself, like, wouldn't it be cool if they did that with the Spider-Man live action? And, we got that because you don't have to hold the audience's hand. You can go full comic book. Like, it just felt like an issue or many issues of a Spider-Man comic book to me. Like that, this is a full-on comic book movie.
Yeah.
There's none of this sort of like comic book movie in disguise. Everybody's wearing black so that nobody knows we're making a kids movie. Yeah.
Well, it's always been the looser, more fun, playful end of the Marvel universe, right? The Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I thought they cried a lot in Spider-Man 3. I've always goofed on Spider-Man 3 for the insane amount of crying in it. But, this one is like Spider-Man. It's fun and loose and freewheeling. But, when they cry, they earned it way more than Spider-Man 3 did. I mean, if you look at Garfield saving Mary Jane and it reflecting that moment he had where he lost Gwen Stacy, it's like, it's like, you earned this moment and good for you. And they underplayed it. He didn't have to go, well, you see, in my universe, I had it. We get it.
Yeah.
Smart movie making combined with good choices and good actors. And it was all firing at all cylinders.
So, you're right. God. And they didn't have to go that far. Like, they really did. They had far more than a cameo type movie. They're like, let's bring these guys in and bring them in fully to the plot and have them present lessons to the current Peter Parker, who's like, they all wish they'd had a Peter Parker to come along and go, okay, it's going to get weird right here. And this is what happens, That's just such a cool way to use this, which is a clear, a clearly idea. This is an exploitation film is what this is like, it's really just wants to put butts in the seats and has done it by going, hey guys, that thing we always talk about that could never happen. Well, we did it, and there's only one place to see it. And that's movie theaters, folks, see all the Spider-Men.
And did they? What do we got here? Where is it? 253 million box office. So this is not just, hey, we're back from the pandemic. This is second biggest opening ever. This is
second biggest opening ever.
Not just
year. Pandemic news.
Correct. And it means
major move.
It is that. And it also means 600 million worldwide. It also means in 3 days it became the biggest movie of the year. First of all, and then because no movie, even in a longer than a weekend, has made this much money.
Oh wow, that's what the incredible physics of quarantine and COVID. That on the weekend of December 19th, you've got the biggest opening of the entire year. Well, I guess probably Star Wars might have done that a few years ago too.
Yeah. And great performance from him. This was posted when we were talking about Andrew Garfield, and that is true. And again, you're not going to just say, well, there were two movies where we didn't do so great, and now here comes Tom Holland. We know what we're doing, and it is actually true in that the Holland version of Spider-Man, I think, is the best yet. We don't have to deal with the origin story. We get it. We just throw Spider-Man into fun and having a good time. But we got it. But Marvel's got to go back and say, no, the Garfield stuff is legit. These were great villains. He was a fun character. He had his own vibe,
I love how they rescued. Love how they rescued. I'm a huge fan of the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I just think they just really are. They shine in so many ways, and I'm like, they rescued him. They brought him back, and they rescued that series. And now everybody's like, oh yeah, I've always liked those, which is what you really want. You want them to completely not acknowledge that there was any controversy whatsoever, like Force Awakens. Now everybody always liked it. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's fine for Amazing Spider-Man. I want that for Amazing Spider-Man,
And did you have the feelings that I had? I mean, it's been 2 years plus since a crowd went that bananas at a movie I've been. I mean, just hollering at every cameo or every
I know,
moment,
right?
or then of course Garfield walks through the whatever you call that portal, and everybody just went berserk. I'm like, for Andrew Garfield, that's awesome. And then when Maguire shows up, and he's older, wiser Peter Parker, and he's, the place went bananas, and it was awesome. I mean, I hadn't experienced that in a long time.
That is
really good.
Yeah, to create that moment. What's funny is like Marvel always shows everyone up. Like they did all these trailers for how Fast and the Furious, the movies, family, we're gonna be together finally at the movies. That's the whole thing. But and Marvel just subtly did that where they've got us cheering at the screen again, shouting out loud. And Sony too. Obviously, it's a co-production, but it has a real Marvel feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, and not. Going back and giving the villains sympathy or empathy, was just, and again, that is some hero shit. I love these movies when the hero makes the hero choice. It's just the best. Like I always talk about Infinity War, when all hell's breaking loose in the Banner has been thrown back through into Doctor Strange's place, and Strange, Banner, Wong and Tony are all standing there, and they hear the rumble outside, and it's Thanos' men coming for the Time Stone. And so what happens? Tony Stark goes outside. Everyone's running this way. Tony's walking that way towards the trouble. Right. Does he have his Iron Man suit on? No. Why? Because he's a hero. He's a straight hero. And when Peter Parker
and a woman stumbles and he helps her up. I love that. That moment too. Like a woman stumbles and he helps her up just a little bit on his way to save the universe. It's like, and also do a little Boy Scout thing. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Eventually, of course, he throws the suit on. They let it go. But it's just like
Earth is closed today.
Yeah, that is some hero shit. And when Peter takes the note, puts it back in his pocket, you're like, God, that's a hero move. You can't be selfish in that moment, and he wasn't, and he knows his role, and it's a fascinating moment.
Yeah, he's grown quite a bit since the first Spider-Man Homecoming, you know?
Yeah.
When he hadn't earned the suit and Tony took the suit away from him, and, you know, now you have other parallel moments. Well, there's some spoilers I won't get into. There's a lot happens in this movie.
I've spoiled a lot here, but
Yeah,
I
but
think we're all.
the key is
we
like,
made a warning enough. I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I won't blow the ending. But yeah, it's just, and just when you think it can't get more joyous in pushing this button of like, I want to see things from the old Spider-Man movies. I want to see things from, you know, it's one after another, and then Willem Dafoe's performance, it once again speaking to the idea of these aren't cameos, these are full on. This is the best I've seen him do that. That whole thing he does where his face goes suddenly from nice guy to evil. You know, you don't even have to put a Green Goblin mask on him. His face makes that face.
Yeah,
you know, that
clearly
Green
that's
Goblin
what they were
face.
showing. Yeah, he's
That
the
just
problem.
yeah, it's the greatest Willem Dafoe performance. You're just like that performance is up there, you know, again, reflecting on the old movies now that we get to watch them in this new context. You know, these are the old movies that predated Marvel Studios. And you know, just to yeah, I don't know, just to see that transition and to see him really just nail that, like that's a real Joker-like performance he does with the Green Goblin. It's really cool.
Yeah, and there are nods to the old Raimi movies and the filmmaking style too. Every once in a while, shots just kind of reflected that, and then sure enough, Raimi's directing the next Doctor Strange movie, so it's all in the family. You know, I just
It's a really cool handoff to that movie.
yeah.
You know,
And be thankful you live in these times, right? We always say that, but just be
it's.
thankful.
But I mean, you know how many times that went through my head while watching this movie? I'm like, I'm watching a Spider-Man movie, like a real Spider-Man movie, like a real big time, huge, big Spider-Man movie. Like throughout my life, I've seen Spider-Man movies and they've been better than the previous Spider-Man movies. But you're watching this and you're like, my God, this is just so much Spider-Man movie. And I have never seen the possibility of that, you know, compared to the other ones. This one's really just like, all right, 8-year-old Adam Witt, you wanted a movie. Here it is.
Yeah.
You know?
and you thought the density of the pool of characters they could pull from was, you know, as big as it could be doing Infinity War and Endgame. But now with television and film and the characters just weaving in and around each other, I mean, if you're watching what's going on in Hawkeye, it's just insane. You know, I mean, I
Yes.
won't say anything
Oh.
more on that, but
I did not get to episode 5.
I will not bring it up. But you're in for
Okay.
some, you know,
Well,
more jaw dropping, and it's fun.
but I can give a review of episodes 1 through 4. Quite simply, once again, Marvel has done that thing they do, which is they wrap you up in a regular story with other facets that are brand new. You know, a whole new her story connected to Hawkeye as it is a whole new story. Kate Bishop, you know, and that whole thing comes full circle when finally, after all this time, Hawkeye is watching her accomplish this heist, right? And she's going up the side of the building. These two are working together. He's finally gone full Yoda with her or whatever. And that's when, spoiler alert, Florence Pugh arrives. And that's as far as I've gotten. But you're just like, they just did that classic Marvel thing of shifting into another gear. And you're like, and of course, it's meaningful to the plot because he's like, we just saw a Black Widow agent. Like, this has gone to another level. That was really cute the last 4 episodes. Now scram. You know, we've gone Avengers. It really is called out like we've gone full Avengers in this show.
Yep. And yeah, it gets more Avengery in the next episode. And then the finale is just going to be awesome, I imagine, which is this week. So get yourself caught up. Yeah, Wednesday it'll end. So.
All right.
You're not doing anything. Where are you? The Midwest?
Yeah, I'm in the Midwest. I'm slowly making my way more south than here. Took a little pit stop in Dayton, Ohio. Headed down to Kentucky.
That's where you got to see a movie, right? Dayton to get the good, decent sound. Or
we went full IMAX here. The most IMAX that Huber Heights as possible. Oh yeah, there's a cameo. Did not see that coming.
He's a very good lawyer.
It was hinted. I'm a very good lawyer. It was hinted on Twitter. I saw a bit of a hint, and I was like, "Is that really going to happen?"
Yeah.
Sure enough, he's got a very good lawyer.
All right, should we let's wrap that stuff. So hey, Roach, come back.
Okay,
We'll
we're
be
done
done with the
there.
spoilers.
That ought to cue him.
Let's talk about something else because it seems like we can't get away from talking about Nicolas Cage. But
My
for all the
God.
best reasons, right?
All the best reasons. I did not get to pull a clip because I am traveling and was not able to help produce the show today. But I saw what is it called? The one where he goes to kill Osama bin Laden. The
Army of One.
Army of One. Army of One. I knew it had a catchphrase thing. Yeah. So I've fallen in love with Nicolas Cage over the last few months because we've had Pig, Willy's Wonderland, Color Out of Space.
So what of the Ghostland? What was that one?
Oh, Prisoners of the Ghostland. That's what really kicked it off. And I'm just like, I'm watching brilliant performance after brilliant performance, after interesting performance. Like the guy is just never not interesting. And all this time, I hadn't seen Army of One, which is amazing. Has Nicolas Cage ever played the same character twice?
Very good question.
And the
Has
other
he ever
question
made a
is,
sequel to begin with?
Ghost Rider Spirit.
Ghost Rider 2.
Yeah. Boy, what's going on in that movie? But I start falling in love with it more when I watch Army of One. And Army of One, this character, it's just, it's as awesomely out of control type character as you'd want, but it's played by Nicolas Cage. I wish I had a clip. Oh my God.
Is it Larry Charles? Is that right?
Yes, it's Larry Charles, the director of Borat. So it's got his sharpened knife on it too. But everything Nicolas Cage is like this, and it's all conspiracies, and you don't want to live in a world like that, man. You know, it's so enjoyable watching him counter everything. And his ideas are like, he goes into, a sports store and he's like, I need a hang glider so I can hang glide into Pakistan from Israel. And the guy's like, well, this model is pretty good for that, and it's just bad idea after bad idea. And then he does get over there. But it's just, what an absurd premise. Like for Nicolas Cage, everything he does is amazing.
Well,
I got to go back and see when the last time he was boring.
The way he goes is now you give him a movie and he goes, I'm going to make some really crazy choices here. Okay. And
Right.
then we'll just see what happens. And if it's crap, who cares? He'll have another movie in a month and a half. And then just watch that one. If that movie didn't work, watch the next one.
I forget what it was called, but you got to look up this clip, and we got to have Adam Rifkin on the show sometime. We got to see if we can get him on here, because if you look up Nicolas Cage, Adam Rifkin, you look it up right now, and the story behind this I've heard on another podcast, but I would beg him to tell the same story on ours. He got all of these Brat Packer actors, and he'll tell the whole story, but Nicolas Cage came along and made this request that he would only play this role if he could wear a giant fake nose. Did you find it? What is this movie called?
I haven't found it yet. I know the clip you're talking about. It's going to take me a sec. Oh, did you know he...
Oh, no, it's called Never on a Wednesday or Never on a Tuesday. It's a play on the... It's a play on See You Next Wednesday. So I think it's Never on a Tuesday.
Never on Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah. Never on Tuesday, Nicolas Cage in YouTube. Because Adam Rifkin is an absolute auteur. It's amazing all the eras he's made movies in. And, the fact that this is his movie he made so long ago. Did you find it? But Nicolas Cage makes a tiny appearance and wears a gigantic nose.
Yeah, here's something about the Twin Peaks theme. I think they added something to this. I just want the straight scene. Now, of course, that's hard to find, because everyone has to make their comment on it, and add their shit to it.
Somebody's probably going to do it in our chat here. Well, anyway, I will have to pull that. Does this include the Italian Spider-Man? Oh, wait, that's the right one. Does this include Italian Spider-Man? Hi, Steve Scholes. Do you know Italian Spider-Man, Steve? Or Paul?
Not as well as you do.
That was a YouTube thing as well. But what I remember more than that was there was a series of, I believe, like Hungarian superhero. They made like Turkish Star Wars, Turkish Star Trek, and they did Turkish. It was called Three Mighty Men, and it was Captain America, Spider-Man, and Santo, the wrestler. But Spider-Man was a bad guy, and I think that's where they got the idea to do the full-on bandito mustache Spider-Man. Is that Italian Spider-Man I'm thinking of? Yes, exactly.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Can you bring up the YouTube page?
Well, maybe, unless it's is it the real clip or is it? Hang on. Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, here it is. And we gotta have Adam Rifkin on. Oh, somebody put music to it.
Oh, is that it? Yeah. See, it's tough to find like just the clip nowadays.
Yeah, hold on, it'll be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that is Twin Peaks music, isn't it?
Yeah.
Enough of that.
All right. Well, I will load it up as a clip next week. We don't have those kind of clips today.
But here's early on in his career, Tiny Part makes massive, crazy ass choices.
Yeah.
And now the clip's remembered forever.
Yeah. And he just keeps making crazy choice after crazy choice. And I really want to go back and or ask the audience here too. When is the last time he was boring? I mean, is it, because there's a lot of stuff I wrote off. There's a lot of stuff I never, It Could Happen to You. Like I wrote that off as I'm never watching that movie. That movie looks like it absolutely sucks. The worst movie ever. Is Nicolas Cage great in that movie and I just don't know it? I don't know.
No, it is dull.
No, it is dull. He is capable of being dull. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So he did get dull for a while.
Sure, City of Angels is dull. I never watched it though.
Towel.
Find out.
Yeah, gets a towel.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was going to go down his filmography. Prisoners of the Wasteland.
VHS.
There we go. Because it's that time of year. I was either going to do this with these or Christmas movies. We could run down Christmas movies and see if they get out. Or
VHS.
All right, what did we see this week? All right, how about let's see. Should we get into a little bit of that? Where's our
sure? What did you see this week?
Where's our opener? What did you see this week? All right, I'm gonna say I went to the New Beverly.
You did?
I'm going again tomorrow.
Oh God, I'm so jealous.
To see this movie I'd never seen before.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
The Long Riders.
I've never seen it either. That's the way to do it, right? See that at the New Beverly on David Carradine's birthday?
Yeah, on film. Yeah, and it was on his birthday. It was the whole thing. They had David Carradine week going on, and I have to say,
VHS.
There you go. Right, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's the full story of the Jesse James gang. I didn't know. And it's I've always knew it as the brothers movie, and there were more brothers in that than I expected. I knew, of course, it was Keith, Robert, and David Carradine. Mm-hmm. There's Dennis and Randy Quaid. Right. And there's James and Stacy Keach. Also, there's Christopher Guest and whoever his brother is.
Oh,
Charlie.
Right. Nicholas Guest.
Nicholas Guest?
Nicholas Guest. It must be Nicholas Guest because he's in very few other movies. You know him, of course, as the neighbor in Christmas Vacation. It's Nicholas Guest.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Todd and Margot, right? Yeah, he's Todd.
And then Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
And that's the movie I've always wanted to make, which is Todd and Margot's Christmas Vacation. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I did see that movie recently too. I should have put that on the list. But that
VHS.
That's also a VHS.
Yeah. It's a VHS.
But no, great to see the Long Riders on the big screen, and it's a Walter Hill. So I was waiting for it to get a little more Walter Hilly than it was, and then the blood pack started going.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, good movie there. I saw. On the way back from the I didn't get a poster of this, but I flew watching La La Land. I flew back. I watched Dave. Oh my God, Dave is such a great movie. I
love Dave.
Kevin Kline, Charles Grodin, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, that's one of those movie theaters.
Franklin Cello.
Yeah, I watched that because that was in the movie theater I worked in. Was the year that Dave was out. And I saw Dave over and over and over, and that whole staff spoke in Dave quotes. Thank you for doing this, Ellen. I say that to this day. Thank you for doing this, Ellen.
So do I. Yeah. Yeah. And I was telling my girlfriend, you'll hear these come up all the time, and we're walking.
And we're
we're
walking.
stopping. Yeah,
Oh, so the president's
just a
press
man.
secretary. How fortunate for you. And we're walking.
Truly, and we're walking. You can't kill him. You can't kill the president. He's not the president. He's just a man. I can kill a man.
You kill a man.
Frank Langella, so good in that. Kevin
Frank
Dunn.
Langella is
I
amazing
mean,
in that one. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but for me, that whole movie is wrapped, especially, going through this turbulent political cycle we're in. It's been going on for like
Sure.
10 years. It's not good now.
I know, right?
It's been, uh, when Groden goes in and he goes through the books and he figures out a way for them to get 650 million back so he can save that homeless kids shelter. And he sits down with everyone and he figures out everywhere that they're spending money stupidly.
Yeah.
And it's like, why can't we just do that? Like they have a
It's
consumer.
such a fantasy, but it's,
I know it's a consumer confidence thing where they have like $65 million that they pay people who've already bought a car to feel confident about the American car that they bought. And he's like,
Yeah.
they already bought it. Can we get rid of that money? And the guy says, he looks at the press cameras all on him and he goes, I guess. He's like, all right, so we got rid of that. And he just goes through piece by piece of all the places we're stupidly spending money and he saves the homeless shelter. And we just need Charles Grodin in our actual lives.
And the great thing about that is it's very Frank Capra, which we don't recognize as being possible in real life. It's just too perfect. That's a very Frank Capra,
Yeah.
Mr. Smith. I mean, and it executes on every level. It executes perfectly that type of story. Mr. Smith goes to Washington, sort of, regular guy, can do well.
And then by the end, you get Ving Rhames with no irony. I would have taken a bullet for you. And just, I mean, it's a great movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I watched that one over and over. So that's 93. I would guess any year because if I know a movie that well, it's probably 93 because that's the year I worked in the movie theater.
we were looking for a holiday movie to watch, so we watched a movie called The Holiday.
Towel.
Oh yeah, Towel.
It's cheesy. It's Nancy Myers. Have you seen It's Complicated? Baby Boom, Father of the Bride. It's what you're getting. And so it's cheese bag. It's got some really good parts in it with Eli Wallach as like an old writer that they honor, but it has moments. If it were Richard Curtis, it would be better. Richard Curtis of Love Actually and Notting Hill and Bridget Jones' Diary. That guy has the comic tone that this didn't quite, even though it's charming and likable, but overall kind of bland.
Now, is The Holiday? It's not a Christmas movie, is it? Or is it?
It is. Yeah,
it is. So, okay, because holiday in British just means a vacation. I thought it might be more of a vacation movie than it is a winter holiday type movie.
They both need to get out of their situations. It's a home switch thing. Cameron Diaz is her boyfriend cheated, so she needs to get away. And Kate Winslet, the person that she's been in love with forever, the Rufus Sewell, it's never going to happen. She finally realizes, so she needs to get away, and they swap houses and meet new people and change their lives. Fascinating.
Oh, I just realized something. I'm sorry. I tuned out because my camera has been on the wrong camera the whole time.
Well, we can see you.
You can't see me.
Yeah.
But the other camera is so much nicer.
But let's go back in time to not just what we saw this week, but the trailers that came out. Did you get to see the trailers? I mean, what was playing before the movie today?
What played before the movie today was that other Tom Holland one, the one based on the video game.
Uncharted, yes.
Uncharted, yeah. Uncharted. And
I'll tell you what I liked about that trailer was he's kind of developed a style now of doing action, which is action with incredulousness. He's never like the tough guy. He's always like, whoa, like I can't believe I did that. Like Spider-Man does that all the time. Peter Parker continually, and it seems like even in Uncharted, as tough as he looks, sometimes he's still going, what the, or like he's got some sort of normal person reaction that we can buy into. That I think makes him a unique action star. I like
affable. It's what they always said about
Harold Brown, right?
Right. Oh yeah. The beginning of that trailer is fascinating to me because what has Wahlberg shifted to at this point? It seems new for him. Has he done this before? The Obi-Wan Kenobi? He's Alec Guinness now, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Has he hit that age where he's like, I'm the mentor?
No, I guess he has.
I'm the mentor here. Yeah, I mean that's a shift for him, right? But yeah, I don't know if I buy Tom Holland. I mean, I love him as Spider-Man, but I'm like, I watch that and I'm like, I guess he's supposed to be that sort of like, because Harrison Ford wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was therefore the everyman. But of course, I think we'd recognize Harrison Ford as being something bigger than that also. But I guess Tom Holland's kind of cruising on that of like, look how short I am. You wouldn't think I could flip off a plane or whatever, or you wouldn't think I could do a backflip in the air and mysteriously land on the thing in the parachute or whatever.
Yeah, and all the time he just seems to me, again, I think by the fact that he keeps going, whoa, 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 like to me, I buy it. If he was trying too hard to be tough, I mean, I saw Adrian Brody do that in Predators. Didn't work.
Right.
This is more. I think he's seeing what we all see, and yeah, I'm in good shape, but I'm a short guy with like no intimidation factor.
Yeah,
but I'll go through this adventure, and hopefully you can live through me when
I'm tough, but with boyish good looks. That's sort of
Did they show this trailer? That's been making the rounds.
Oh, they did not, but I just saw that on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's Dumbledore in this one? Is it
well,
or not Dumbledore?
Should we get Johnny Depp back? I want him back. Talk about a guy who makes interesting choices. Like he can be much duller than Nicolas Cage easily, but he's always making interesting choices. Always showed up in interesting projects, and I'd like to see what he's doing now. But this whole personal life quagmire with Amber Heard has just buried his career. So he was replaced after playing Grindelwald in the last film by Mads Mikkelsen, which is an upgrade.
Well,
now I got Mads playing Grindelwald. It should be an interesting finale to this trilogy, or whoever the hell knows how long it's going to go. But
I mean, I want Johnny Depp to remain interesting and relevant and keep putting out parts. But yeah, I don't know. I hate that I have to go read up on legal briefs to figure out if I should like an actor or not. So that's all. And I don't always do all my research. So, I'm not sure.
Yeah. But in the meantime,
Mads Mikkelsen is a pretty good,
I'll take it in the meantime. Absolutely. But that, along with Depp, no one caring about him being cast in the last one, that movie was also not good. The Grindelwald film was bad. The first one was good enough. The second one I thought was really bad. This is all just me talking. They certainly make money. So now we have a third one.
I would love to hop on these and get interested in them, but I'm just waiting for the right time because it's homework. It's like, I don't naturally gravitate to it, but I would love the day where I'm like, all right, let's watch all three. I did that with Twilight at some point. I'm like, all right, let's bite the bullet and figure out what Twilight is.
Did you see this trailer? Now, you know why we have this movie? Because Sonic the Hedgehog 1 was the biggest grossing movie of 2020.
Are you kidding me?
Thank you, pandemic. Yeah.
That was the biggest?
It came out in February, made February money, and nothing else could come close. Or nothing else even opened in theaters enough to make. So now we have.
Well, yeah. Do we need a sequel? I mean, whatever. I mean, we're not talking about, these are just, fun movies. It's, what do you even say about this?
Jim Carrey's there, so I should go and laugh probably, but
that's amazing. And also him playing an extreme character like Dr. Robotnik. That's, what's funny is I started the first Sonic movie and I never made it to the reason I wanted to watch it, which was Jim Carrey. I never really made it to his character. So
they put too much before that.
They did.
Mistake. Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the IP from another universe comes into ours and you're like, there's a weird thing. It's ruining my sex life,
Whoa, David McKay, them's big words. Is that is that in quality or money? Because it's probably in money for sure. Yeah, made more money. But then, of course, this week we finally have
that trailer. In the new one. I hadn't seen the new trailer for this. So the new trailer was before Spider-Man Home Away, Home Away, Home.
What a week. We get that, and we get The King's Man. So big sequel week if you're
incredible.
If you're a big geek movie loving dude like us.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible. I mean, I saw the new Matrix trailer, and I love when I don't see a trailer online first and I see it in the wild before an actual movie, and it's the new trailer. So I've done that with all the Star Wars movies. I've avoided watching them. I watch a teaser online, then catch that in the theater, and then won't watch it after that. But that first actual trailer, I'll wait to catch that in the theater for Star Wars. And now did this by accident. I just caught this one in the wild. This new trailer is pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, again, the first one kind of led you into, he's in therapy and he's obviously trying to figure. I think he's there with Jonathan Groff, and they're trying to figure: are you ready to do the Matrix? Are you ready to go back or something like that? But by the end, it's just a montage of all the shit you love about the Matrix. And this movie looked like, let's not shy away from that earlier in the trailer, and let's just get some badass stuff going. And
give me the same but different.
Yeah,
that's
damn straight, Randy.
Said.
It's great to have movies back for real, and I hope that that it stays. That the people who came out to Spider-Man keep coming, and that the stupid Omicron variant, the Transformer Omicron.
Let's hope. Let's just hope for not a spike. No spike. I don't want the Spider-Man spike. I don't want anyone to name the Spider-Man spike. We're the biker thing in Wyoming.
Look, when I was in Hawaii,
the bikers.
Yeah, when I was in Hawaii, I did my 10th national park. Why? Mask, distance, sanitizer. That's it. I go to the movies, it's still the mask on. I don't eat anything. I have occasionally, but most of the time I won't eat anything. I don't want to breathe anything in. I'm just going to enjoy the movie. I want the reaction, the response of a crowd. I want it larger than life. I want the big sound, the big picture. I want it to overwhelm me and tell me the story it's supposed to tell me in a way that the movie was designed. And then I go and I don't worry about, too much in terms of catching the variant.
But speaking from Dayton, Ohio, Paul, what are masks?
Yeah, exactly.
It's great, Paul. It's crazy out here.
I'm sure. Yeah. They got the green light and they took it.
It's nuts. Yeah. Let me just say that. But yeah, so anyway, I wore mine throughout the entire movie. I was the only one, of course. But hey, they're confident people. I'll just say that.
Well, listen, it's well, that's
I
very
have
nice.
to kill all of you.
Hey, Mara's here.
Hey,
that makes her a 2.5-time guest now.
That's true.
Yeah,
we are joined by Mara Kanopik.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
So what else are we looking at? Did you see a trailer for this?
Yes, part 1.
At least they told us part 1 as opposed to Dune, which was like I didn't know until I sat down. It's part 1. It's like tell me ahead of time so I know.
Oh, really? They say part 1 in the movie theater, like at the beginning or at the end?
Yeah, or at the beginning. Yeah, put that shit on the poster, guys. Come on, because it's going to affect how I enjoy this movie.
But the way they announced that it is a 2-part Across the Spider-Verse movie is by putting it in the title of the first one. I thought that was a cool move.
Yeah, touche, Garth.
Another Nic Cage. Yes, I mean, hey, throw it on the pile. I mean, the fact that he in this amazing run he's been in, and I don't know since when he started this run, when he stopped being boring, because he was boring for a while. He got that Oscar, and then he did some real interesting action movies, and then got boring, right? Then he did.
Well, he did like Captain Corelli's Mandolin, which is terrible.
Right,
he's boring.
Yawn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where's Tal here? Because I can
Towel.
Yeah, Captain Corelli's Mandolin. It Could Happen to You.
Towel.
I mean, I wouldn't watch any of these movies.
City of Angels.
Towel.
Absolutely. Oh God, you're so right. It's so boring. So when did he actually start getting interested?
But adaptation.
VHS.
There you go, baby. You know it. So okay,
and
so
now,
somewhere in there is that when he got interesting again. I don't know.
We were on Spider-Man. It was back to Nicolas Cage because this is how the world works. So anyway, we got this coming up, right? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh my God, I didn't have time to pull a clip for this because again I'm traveling. But oh my God, this really seems like the coda of what we're saying about Nicolas Cage. Like this seems to cap an era that I now define as maybe adaptation till now. Has he been boring in the time frame between adaptation till now? I'm curious.
I think you might be mistaken, and if you say yes, you're probably mistaking it for not having seen the movie.
Yes,
he was boring in that. That means you didn't see it.
What adaptation?
Any movie that you say he's boring in recently. No, he was boring in that movie Joe. Did you see Joe? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, exactly right. That's the thing.
The unbearable weight of massive talent is self-proclaimed to be the most Nicolas Cage movie.
Amazing.
This is a still from the trailer.
Yes. Paul, did I make this happen? Do I have incredible control over the universe, and naturally I'm going to have made this happen?
You have a what is that word? We can create something out of nothing. You're a conjurer.
I'm a conjurer. That's
You're a
it.
Conjurer.
Bing.
So yeah, this is Pedro Pascal, and who the hell knows what's. Let's go watch the trailer as soon as you're done here. Go watch that trailer. It's insane, and it's finally a super meta Nicolas Cage movie I think we've all wanted. That could go horribly wrong, but looks like they did not.
So is Pedro
Entertaining as
Pascal
hell.
in comedy from prior to me knowing about him? Maybe he was in some Mexican movies or something.
All I've known is Narcos. I think was he in
Narcos?
I didn't watch that either.
Because as soon as he got known, it's like, get that guy in a comedy. Like he's, and he's pretty funny in that Wonder Woman 84 too. He's he's a really goofy, a little bit of a Jim Carrey take in that pretty Batman Forever of Wonder Woman movies,
First time I saw him was Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and he played the whip. Yeah, the guy, the cowboy hat and the whip.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what his character's name, what booze he was named after. But
right.
Yeah.
Johnny Whiskey. I think it was Johnny Whiskey.
Johnny Whiskey. He's the go-to guy though now. Johnny Whiskey.
Pims. Arthur Pims. David Frangelico. I think he was named after Frangelico in that one.
Hans Leinenkugel, if I'm not mistaken.
Leinenkugel. That's who it was. Yes.
Burning through some other stuff here, and then we can call it a day. There was also a trailer for Halo. It's going to be a series on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
I know we're the movie guys, but for years they've been trying to make.
They have.
A Halo film. Peter Jackson was on board at one point, and now it's gone to Paramount Plus for 2022, and the trailer looks decent enough. It looks like the big sweeping action sequence they
yeah. But I also don't know what the premise of Halo is. As far as I know, Halo is a bunch of people who in suits that look like that, and that's the most important thing. That the people that their space suits look like those suits from Halo. People in suits that look like that do things. Is all I know about Halo.
Yeah. All I know about Halo is that 12-year-olds online will call me the N-word. That's all I know about the Halo.
Right. Just I played Warzone recently, and I just had a 9-year-old on there. Or sounds like a 9-year-old just saying motherfucker over and over because mom and dad aren't around, and I finally have an outlet to say the word motherfucker over and over.
Now I have to have Mara explain what this is. Halo Forward. Was that animation?
Forward Unto Dawn.
Check the chat for more information on this as she explains what the hell.
Forward Unto Dawn. So Dawn is one of the characters. That just sounds like I'd find that in the adult section or something.
I just this is why I don't do IG. I mean, who knows what that is?
Put Halo on the wheel.
Yeah. I'll teach you. All right. So she's going to teach us Halo. Listen, I played Halo up till Halo 3.
Nice.
And then I would go online, and then you got guys who would just kind of go and shoot you in the head while they're jumping. It's like,
it's insane.
Yeah, they must have some cheat.
Those games are not to be won.
That accuracy. I'm like trying to play, my character's running around, and then a guy just literally, I'm like, you can't shoot me square in the head at that.
Yeah. No, I know. It's insane.
Right, it's a live action movie. I just don't know anything about it. Well,
also,
I think that would have been a bigger deal.
And also, somebody should make a version of these games, certainly in Warzone's case, that and actually have a good time. Like, it is supposed to be playing army a little bit. Like you can make it like fun rather than just like this entirely tactical. Remember when you and your friends would play army and one guy would be a sniper and he'd walk down the road a half a mile and he'd just kill all of you? Wasn't that fun when you played army as a kid? And the one kid, and there was always one kid with the sniper rifle, and you'd be like, wasn't Johnny going to come today? And then you start playing army and then you all get killed because he's a half mile down the road. Just like that. That's Warzone.
Yeah. We would always just have the Germans was out there. We would be the Americans. The Germans would be out there, and we just walk along until one of us went, I've been shot. Oh, I'll get him. Then I got him, and then you drag your buddy back to the shed or whatever, and you patch him up, and you get going. They're just out there. Yeah.
Just like when you were a kid.
All right. No one called me the N-word.
Chill out. Dickwad.
I mean, what else can we say? We got this coming out this week. The
Spider-Man
tragedy-
movie. Oh, sorry.
Oh, right. The
Oh, that's
tragedy of
right.
Macbeth.
Black and white Coen Brothers movie too. But Spider-Man. It's all I'm thinking of right now.
Steve Schultz, who was watching here and often contributing jokes to the show.
It's true.
I liked his take on the tragedy of Macbeth. He said, directed by Joel Coen, which guarantees this will be quirky, innovative, and it'll star Frances McDormand, which is accurate. So that's, and sure enough, early word on that.
Sure
is that
enough,
Denzel is
the
incredible.
hat trick.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Denzel doing Macbeth. I mean, come on. Set up a camera and just roll on that. Yeah. I don't even, but the fact that it's Joel Coen also, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah, that's very curious why he didn't bring Ethan along, to produce.
I like Ethan got a break.
Yeah, maybe.
Ethan just got to chill out. He's like,
I just don't want to. Yeah.
What am I going to bring to Shakespeare that you don't know that I think about Shakespeare?
Chill out.
Shakespeare. Right.
And then we got this, which surprised me because it's The Tender Bar, directed by George Clooney. Ben Affleck was on Howard Stern this weekend. If you have any chance to hear even clips of that interview, it's stellar. The guy was unfiltered, and he was great. And then the guy talked so openly about movie making, just his frustration with it and the things he loved, the things he hated. No, I'm talking about Affleck. Sorry,
Affleck. Okay.
I mentioned Clooney real quick because it seems like we just had a Clooney movie. Didn't we just have that one on Netflix? The something Sky. Garth will chime in with
right. October Sky or something.
October.
No, October Sky was one from 1990s, but
of course, Jake Gyllenhaal in the October.
Yes, Sky. Rocket.
But whatever movie that was that he just put out, he's got another one out rather quickly. I think within a year. So
yeah,
and you got the screenwriter from The Departed, William Monahan. So that's exciting. But Affleck stars, and man, on the Stern show is just a great interview. So I quickly segued over to that because I was impressed with this interview.
Yeah, I did not hear that.
I heard it.
Midnight Sky, there it is.
Midnight Sky, October Sky, Midnight Sky. We're very, very close. It should be in the profession that we're in, Paul. Knowing movie trivia, it should be illegal to name two movies that close together. Just for my brain, just take my brain into consideration when you name two things like that. Okay, that's all.
Do we have a Ford report? No,
I didn't have time to pull anything because I'm traveling. I've got important things to do, Paul.
I have my artifact. So let me just remind everyone before we go that the Ford Fiesta is out there. If you like podcasts that involve Adam and I, this is a good one. We're watching every Harrison Ford movie from Dead Heat on a Merry-Go-Round all the way to The Call of the Wild. And I imagine we'll be done with this before Indiana Jones and the 5th movie comes out.
We're going to try.
We're going to try. It's slow going. We should record the More American Graffiti first half of that episode here because we recorded the second half, which includes guest William Bibiani. So that's exciting.
Yes, exactly. We record them out of order and very distantly apart as of late, but they eventually will all get done is the point. Just not on much of a schedule.
But I did dig into my garage and find my Harrison Ford artifact of the week, which I always go and find to... much like Indiana Jones, I want to pull an artifact from the deep and share it. And in this case, I found, you have this. Tell me you have this.
Oh my gosh. Do I ever have
Come
that?
on.
And how worn out is your copy?
Oh
my God.
Behold, the creases and the...
Nothing in my life.
The edges you can't even barely read what it says in the binding.
Oh, yeah.
VHS.
Yeah, VHS all the way on that thing right there.
There's a permanent line here because of this, just because I'm always doing this.
Wow.
So.
Yes, and that's got the Biggs photos in it. Flip to the Biggs photos.
Yes, it does. I remember that. Let me see if I can find those. Yep, there he is.
He's being stationed aboard the Rand Ecliptic.
So this came out
information
after
you
the
only
movie.
know from that.
This came out after the movie, and yet they wanted to include Biggs, who clearly wasn't in the movie if you watched the movie. So they wanted to give you bonus information in the Star Wars storybook, which is just bizarre.
And the comic book of Star Wars as well that I had that was about that sort of format, that size format, had the Jabba the Hutt scene in it as well with the Scottish guy or whatever. That was in the comic book version. So the Biggs was in that and the other one. So it's interesting, a time before YouTube, before making ofs of any quality or interest, that in these two things you could get this complete behind the scenes of Star Wars and things that were cut out and everything. So the people ask why we love movies so much. It's because we're the George Lucas generation. I mean, look how generous that movie is just in a book like that you'd flip through over and over, knowing there's this other character that the universe doesn't stop at the water's edge because there's always more Star Wars.
I'm going to be honest with you. I can't tell you this isn't Pedro Pascal playing Biggs.
All right.
Right?
Garrick Hagen. Garrick
where did he
Hagen.
I don't know.
There's Garrick Hagen.
Little Pedro Pascal.
Hey, Paul. Garrick Hagen is in that movie with William Hootkins. Can you name him another movie that features both Garrick Hagen and William Hootkins?
I'm going to guess. We just watched it. Is it Hanover Street?
This is a very good guess because I forgot that. No, that is Gold Leader that's in Hanover Street. Sorry, that's Gold Leader, Paul. No, I'm talking about Red. What is he? 7? I forget. Red 3. Anyway, also in this movie, Paul, that I'm trying to get you to guess here, there are 3 rebel pilots in this movie, and it is not Force 10 from Navarone, which has 2 Imperial officers. 1 Hitler, 1 Imperial officer, and a rebel pilot is what you. No, this is one with a pop culture movie with 3 rebel pilots in it.
I don't know.
One of them is William Hootkins.
I mean, I'll just mention the other William Hootkins movie I know, and that's Raiders of the Lost Ark. But
and the other one is Billy D. Williams.
Wow, Nighthawks.
Another good guess, but no.
Lady Sings the Blues.
Think of a movie with Billy D. Williams and William Hootkins in it.
The Empire Strikes Back.
No. Batman 89.
Oh, that's right. Hootkins.
Okay. And the guy at the very beginning with the map that says, "Put the map away. We'll look like tourists who are trying to find the alleyway that at first we think are going to be the Waynes, but it's a Dodge, that are going through the Gotham there." That guy is Garrick Hagen, who's Biggs Darklighter.
Oh man, just.
And you know who knew that? Mara Kanopik.
Probably.
And Robert Parker.
Let's see. Here's a picture of Harrison Ford, just to, why I brought this out. So I didn't want to not. There are actually not a lot of pictures of him here. When he meets everyone, it's all these shots of the thing, and then he's kind of like up in here. That's him right there.
Yeah, this is the other thing. Lucasfilm,
you flip and they're already on the ship. I mean, they get a shot of him, but you don't have much of the discussion here. It's kind of in shadow, and I object. I retroactively object. There should be more Harrison Ford.
Because that document that you're holding, Paul, is for kids. And all those fuzzy characters you just flipped to, an entire 2 pages of fuzzy characters from the cantina. I mean, did that company know where their audience was or what?
We'll get to these later. Okay.
Oh my God. I mean, I just looked over those over and over and over and over and over. Oh my God. Oh, Garrick Hagen is in Red 2.
Really?
Wow. Red 2. That is the movie that is not about Wedge. I forget who Red 2 was.
Here I thought he was the Brian Dunkelman of the Star Wars universe. Lo and behold, he's had himself a career.
The Brian Dunkelman. Is that a reference to one of the wrestlers that would just come out in spandex with a name?
That was the co-host. That's the co-host of American Idol with Ryan Seacrest, season 1, and then never again.
Expert reference. Mwah.
Yeah. But all right. Well, I think that's all we got. As ever.
Yeah, I'm going to get back to the family here.
Yeah, check out
VHS.
Check out all the podcasts and stuff we mentioned, and follow us at The Movie Guys on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find everything we're doing everywhere there are podcasts. This one, of course, you can find on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. No one's watching on Twitch, though. Don't start.
Yahoo!
And thanks to Steve Schultz, as I mentioned before, often providing jokes for the show, which we appreciate. And what, are you going to be able to find Wi-Fi again to do this next week?
I think so, but it's very theoretical. But I will make sure that you have a show to do if my connection is unable to be attainable. We'll find out. We'll find out at the same time, Paul.
Well, if not, I could continue monologuing about my favorite movies of the last 10 years, and we can just talk about Captain Phillips till you get here.
There we go. It might be time to queue up Captain Phillips just in case that I get in here late next week, that you have something to talk about.
Yikes! Oh well, that's Mara being forceful and pleasant. That's
Oh,
her way, I
thank you,
suppose.
Mara. Thank you, Mara. Or she won't give you cookies, and that's a threat too.
Yeah. So, is there anything else we have to say?
A Spider-Man movie, Paul. A Spider-Man movie. As a kid, watching the dumb Spider-Man TV movie, just seeing anybody in the red and blue costume, just like, the fact that this movie was so much Spider-Man movie. I never thought we'd get this much Spider-Man in one movie.
That's impossible, even for a computer.
Absolutely. The most Spider-Man ever. I can't believe they did it. So, but it's not like anybody's like, man, maybe I'll go see this. Let me tune into movie nonsense first,
For their take, yeah.
So for all of you that already have tickets or are about to get tickets or have seen it, then you know what I'm talking about. It's a whole bunch of Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movie.
And we may have already seen a new Matrix and Kingsman movie by the time we do the show again.
Well, that's what next week will be all about, because those series keep giving and giving. To talk about the fullness of those series, we'll take the entire show next week.
Not to mention Sing 2.
That will get just as much time as the other two things you mentioned, Paul. I'm going to say.
All right, goodbye.